Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? Sorry, my internet has been acting crazy for the past couple days, so hopefully it'll be okay. But hi, Jessica. Hey, y'all. Mama Nora says, hey, how are you? So, as you can see, we are going to be discussing the Battle Drum, this amazing book right here. And this book blew me away. Hey, Jira. How are you? Hope your day's going good. This book blew me away, and I just want the next book in my hand. Uh, this, oh my God, it just took us on an adventure, and I loved every single moment of it. Hey, just got home. Hey, Bree. Hey, everyone. And of course, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, and I just love this book. It's definitely like the top, like one of the best books I've read so far this year in 2023. It's definitely on that list, like my top five at least. And the adventure was crazy. How we were learning all like there's 8 different colors. Like I'm like, wait, what? Because I know in the first book we were like yellow. Wait, where did yellow come from? And now we know where yellow comes into play and all the other colors as well. Like, let's see, what did it say the colors were? This was violet, red, green, blue, orange, yellow, indigo, and translucent. And even I wrote in here and said, like, what the fuck? I I enjoyed it. But how did everyone? What was everybody else think? What were y'all's thoughts? It says it was an adventure, all right. Yes, it was. And the end, it teared me up a little bit. Well, no, not a little bit, a lot. I was trying to hold it in while I was reading it because I felt for Hassa. I felt for her. Can't, can't, can't wait to reread it. Right. I'm really excited for the third book to see what happens next because that reveal. I'm like, wait, what? And then it all added up and it made sense, especially with our new character, Nayli. I was like, who's Nayli? We know that she lives in the Volcane Isles and stuff like that, but how is she connected to all this shit? And we learn about this different god, Kaboot, and the Kalam. I was like, this is just too much for me. Too much. And for Sila, I was only thing I was confused about was her and John, because I'm like, he's a traitor, but I'm always gonna look at him as a traitor. But maybe I could change my mind, maybe. But how did y'all feel about this book? Like, what was your favorite parts, at least? Let me know. Let's see. Hello, Jessica. A 5 star. Nora gave it 5 too. Yes. 5. I didn't see Nayli coming. I know. I was like, wait, what? And then the ending, I was like, what? But I will say the fire child or whatever, I thought that technically I didn't think it was a Nor. I'm assuming it was Sila because that was that was her actual daughter at the time. But I don't know. I always thought the child of fire was Sila because of her blood. But then not Nelly said Honor. So I was like, okay, well, let's see how this goes. Yes, I watched you read the last 4 pages. I was like, wait for it, wait for it. I was just like, oh man. Kwame and Hassa were my fave. Yes, but that's what teared me up was the end. I'm like, Hassa can't catch a break. She stayed behind to help Anor. And then, she got some of Kwame and she cares for it. Next thing you know, he's torn to pieces. Because every other book out there, it would have been silent. Yeah, true. Child of Fire, being a blue blood, mind blown. Right. I was like, wait, Child of Blood. I'm thinking, oh, red. But nope, that's not the case. And it all made sense why Anor's mom got her, was making sure she was away from her grandmother. And I was like, okay. And then I already assumed that it was her grandmother that was part of her mom being killed. Like I assumed that. I assumed that. I didn't think it was Gorn at all. I'm like, Anor, come on. You know it is not Gorn. She has been a ride or die for you. Hey, dang, we going all the way in on Nyla first, huh? Because that was a big reveal. That was a huge reveal. Oh man, Kwame was so unnecessary. Yeah, that was just all bad. I'm like, wait, he gets caught, and that was his punishment? Literally torn, yes, torn to pieces, literally. And I cried. I was tearing up. I wiping my eyes because I'm like, that was extreme. It got bloody real quick. But even with like Scylla and her adventures, especially on the ship, I thought that was pretty cool. The Bakra, that was fun. And then they're on their way to the academy to learn stuff. But then come to find out, they realized that they were part of the Column, and how like the ships were left and were taken to different directions, and two were sacrificed or whatever to the Tannin or whatever, the creature. And that was another thing. There was a lot of sacrifice in here. A lot. And let me see if I can find it. And the whole don't get me started about the tide winds and when we found out what causes it. Because I know Anor was trying to come up with legislation or whatever to protect people. So, protect their homes and stuff like that. But apparently, they're the cause of it by blood work. And when we actually get to understand what blood work is, and what it does, and it made me think of like us in reality and what we do with Mother Nature and how we manipulate it and do all this crazy shit. And that's when Mother Nature be coming right back at us 10 times worse than before. Let me see, hold on, let me comments. Nora is dumb as fuck and I'm sick of her ass. Nora says anyone can lead her anywhere. Yeah. Nora was just, I was like, Nora, you're really naive. Like, you obviously don't know who is loyal to you and who is not. Obviously. That was a beautiful plot twist. This was seriously written beautifully, like it was done masterfully well. Yes. It was not predictable, and I think that's what made me love it even more. Like, I was constantly guessing. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I did guess that it was Honor's grandmother that was part of killing her mom. Like, I got that part right. But the other things, like the Child of Fire and all that, I was completely wrong. I'm like, oh, it's Scylla. But she's gone, so it's cool. But no, that wasn't the case at all. That was not the case. And then we come to find out more about loot and stuff. I'm like, wow. Okay. This is all coming together and it's all starting to make sense. Oh man. But what do you feel like? How did you feel about Scylla's mom, Leo? That was sad. Well, technically it's Anor's biological mother, but they got switched or whatever. So I thought that was crazy. Like she was introduced to us, where she ends up meeting Anor and stuff like that, and Anor ends up meeting her, and then she ends up getting sacrificed to the. I was like, wait, what? to the dredge. It's just this book had me going. It wanted me to keep reading. Daily is a pimp, and I wasn't expecting her to say she had twins and Luke being one of them. Right. I was not expecting that either. But I had some sympathy for her at the beginning of this book, though, especially dealing with her husband. What was it, Cha? And how he was beating her, and you could tell she wasn't feeling it. She didn't want to have sex with him. She was not interested at all. Which why she didn't want to have kids. She didn't want to have kids either. At all. She had one goal, and that was it. And he like abused her, and then to the point where she ends up miscarrying. Like, it was just bad. And then when she killed him, I did not feel bad at all for him, because I'm like, you were abusing her. You got what you deserved. I legit can't stand her. Yeah, I know it was pissing me off. She was the only character where I was getting super annoyed with. I'm like, come on, girl, get with the program. You see it, right? Are you blind? Like, come on. 25 stars. How can you just leave us like this? I thought it was Scylla also. No, what the fuck, right? I'm thinking it was Scylla the entire time, and I'm like, well, she's safe. She's nowhere near, she's out, out with the Rain City or whatever. She's good. They can't get a hold of her. The city of Rain. But then we find out that it's Nor, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck? This did not suffer from the second book syndrome. No, not at all. Like, she is talented. Her writing is beautiful. The pacing is great. There was never a dull or boring moment in this book whatsoever. And I loved it. I loved every single moment of it. Y'all were right about those last 4 chapters. It got me. Y'all were right. I like 10-year-old Nellie. That quickly stopped within 2 chapters. I was side-eyeing her big time. Right. Yes. I want to see more from Hassa in book 3. She deserves a come up. She's about to go nuts. Like, I can see her she'd be like, fuck it. I can see her going nuts in the 3rd book. I can see it. She's like, all right, y'all just gonna, y'all took everything else from me. Now you gonna take my man? All right. She's out. She's coming. Who knows? She might end up be the one killing Nelly, for all we know. That'll be nice. Same. Which reminds me so much of climate change. What an amazing spin on it, right? And I wish people would realize, like, the more you manipulate trying to pump, like, get oil and stuff from the ocean and all that, like, you are fucking up nature. You are causing nature to be not balanced, and all that. Like, it's not balanced at all, which is why we get all these terrible hurricanes, these weather conditions, and all that. Like, it's because of what we're doing, or, the people that are higher, that are above us, that get to do all this manipulation and stuff. I'm needing the author to stop trying to make Anor the hero. We know her not to be, right. Anor is Anor, but I don't see her being the hero. I don't. I feel like it's definitely would be the oh god, I can't think of the name right now because I'm blanking. Let me see. From the Academy. The Zwina Academy. I think they will definitely come together, and war is definitely going to be upon in the 3rd book. We know this. We know it's going to happen. But for Anor being the hero, I don't see it. But the author could do a big twist. So who knows? Hard agree. I know, Lou. OMG, that was a plot twist. Yes. I didn't feel bad for Leo. Yeah, I get it. She did get rid of her and stuff like that, but it was still sad. Anor losing both mothers back to back, heartbreaking. Right. But then I feel bad for Scylla, because Scylla doesn't know about Leo either. So I felt like when we talk about all these characters and stuff is happening on one side of this world and happening on another, they don't know what's happening to each other. I didn't think it was Scylla. I knew it wasn't her. Don't forget how sheltered Anor was raised. That is true. That's a good point, Jira. I gotta keep that in mind. But still, you can't be that naive, can you? Yeah, same. I was hoping it was someone else, and if it wasn't Scylla, I knew it wasn't Scylla. Yeah. Yeah, I want to say that I still wasn't convinced it was Honor until the very end because I didn't want it to be her. Like Honor can be the one from the prophecy, but I think it will be Hassa to save it all, right? Hassa is definitely, yep. It's going to be her turn in the third book. I can feel it. I can feel it. And then I know that there was a moment with Asila and John, and I was sort of proud of him, low key, even though I don't really like him because of what he did in the first book. But like how he had like she just wanted to, have sex or whatever, and he's like, nah, because no. You need to focus on this, no. So I did appreciate like he was being honest with her up front. So I'll give him that. I didn't feel bad for Leah, but I was like, shit, that was fast, right? Whatever we think is going to happen is what Sarah will twist. It's going to be Scylla and Honor both against each other and in love. Yeah, that's true. Do you think somebody's going to end up? Well, we know somebody's going to end up dying. Do you think Honor and Scylla will be still living in the third book, or do you think at least one of them is going to die? I feel like her grandmother will kill Honor with no hesitation because she needs her, right? So I don't know. Unless Scylla ends up in the third book saving Honor and Scylla's the one that gets killed, that would suck. I'm not saying I like Honor just irritated me with this book, and that's why I'm like, with her. That's life. It's fast. Yeah. Wait till Hassa masters blood work. Oh. It's on then when she masters it. True, but no intel, no nothing, just dead, no details. It was a bit empty. Yeah, I agree. In that case, I'm thinking to myself, did we really need to have Leo really in this? I mean, because we already know that there was bodies, people being killed in the dredge or whatever. So I mean, we didn't really need to have Leo be the person dead too. But I don't know. More so anticlimactic. Yeah, I see that. Leo was kind of empty. Yeah, I agree. Let me see. I'm trying to look at because I have marked up some pages that I knew I wanted to bring up. I'm blanking right now. Yeah. Oh yeah, this was when Daly cut his throat. I didn't feel bad for him. And then she was having sex with all these people. I'm like, is she polyamorous? On page 197, when it says Nor wasn't hers, but she didn't voice it. 2 moon cycles ago, she had taken a boat to Green Commune and lain with one woman, one man, and one Musawa, just to see if the physical act would rouse any feelings for her. Instead, she found it sticky and uncomfortable. The rubbing of their skin on hers had repulsed her and made her feel trapped within her body. And Musawa means third gender. And I was like, oh. But maybe is she... So I was like, oh, maybe she's not polyamorous. Or she does not want to be touched at all. At all. Let's see. Facts. Hassa's going to burn the whole place down. Yes, rightfully so. She should. I would love to see that. Y'all, did you catch the magnitude or the implication of what went into creating that sea monster? A lot of sacrifices, like a lot of craziness, collecting people's bone marrow. Like, geez, it's deep. Even in the event, she didn't want to do what they were asking of her. They had to be convinced. Yeah. I appreciate the fact that Leo was in it and Nor needed to meet her. Scylla couldn't be, but at least her love was there. Yeah. I thought it was an Ace reference. Let me see. Maybe. But there was a lot of stuff happening that I appreciated, especially when John was trying to keep Scylla alive. I'm like, oh, okay, now you want to keep her alive after you was trying to kill her. But that's cool, right? But knowing more about the prophets that was expelled from the academy, that was interesting. It made me think of like reality of how a religion and stuff, some people either didn't believe it or they pushed people to believe something else. And for them, they kept their faith, but then they end up changing things up a little bit after years and years later. But it's just really interesting. Really interesting. Let me see if I can find something else. I'm trying to think of other talking points because this book was just phenomenal. Let's see. Yeah, I was marking up saying oh my gosh. Let's see. I'm trying to think because I marked some pages up specifically. Oh, also I liked how it was talking about the charters. Like the first charter is the law of growth. The second charter was an intertwined rope. The third charter is the law of healing. The fourth charter is that of presence. And then the fifth, that was Zalam. So, yeah. The Prophet of Zalam is the fifth charter, which they was trying to avoid not ever speaking about. I was shook when I read that. The sea monster was heavy. Yes, it was. It definitely was. And I'm like, dang. Creating this monster? My God. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is when I was talking about nature. It says, the forces wreaking havoc in your lands have plagued the mainland too. It manifests in different ways. Acid rain on the coast, flash floods here, hail and unseasonable snow to the north. It has caused devastation across the world to the farthest corner of this realm. It is slowly killing us all off one by one. So it's just sad. And when Scylla and John realize it's not just their continent that is being affected by this, it's everywhere. It's the whole, like, once they realize their world is bigger than what they thought, like, yeah, it's affecting everyone. But let me see. I'm trying to think what other, there's a lot of stuff I'm trying to think of. I just really enjoyed it. I was consumed once I started reading it, and then I just kept going because I wanted to know more. And I was like, oh, wow. And then I thought, for some reason, like out all these years, Nayli's brother was alive. And I'm like, wait, what? He survived? I thought that definitely surprised me. And then she visited the Empire. And that's how she ended up being, Anor's grandmother. I thought that was interesting. But Nayli, it seemed like she just had a tough life, and then she ended up being just crazy. Let's see. When John took care of Scylla after the acid rain, the love they have for each other as just family, they still care even after she drug his ass to another country. Yeah, I mean, they'll always. I mean, she didn't kill him, so obviously there was still something. She still had something for him, whether it was not for like a relationship or anything, but he's been in her life, and so yeah. I mean, I would be hesitant too if this dude's been in my life forever. Yeah, he betrayed me, but still, he hasn't killed me yet. And apparently he's trying to show that he was manipulated and by loot and all this other stuff, and he's trying to do right. So yeah, I can see why. Yeah, that's still family, so she wasn't gonna kill him, which is why she was hesitant to do that in the first place. I hope she goes past the trilogy. There is so much she can do with this world. I'm team Final Strive Air One. Yes, same. Which, like, sometimes I wonder if her worlds will eventually intertwine. That would be really cool, because once she's done with this, her next book is Feybound. But who knows? This is about blood work and stuff. Maybe it's a different world or something. Maybe, who knows what she will reveal to us in the third book. But I'm ready and I'm excited. Hello, ladies. Just popping my head in to say hello. Running backups and updates right now, but I wanted to say hi. Hi. I hope your day's going good. She played the long game. Yes, she did. This is the second time she's gone through detox. Sila, please don't go back. Right. Right. Sila just, yeah. It takes time. John is putting whips, and I'm here for it. Oh my god. I just moved it so I wouldn't get any spoilers. I'm going to be starting book 1, so I'm a pure newbie while I'm typing. I'll see you all in the next sprint. Have fun. Oh yes, Bree is having sprints at 6, so definitely tune in for that. Hey Papa. I didn't love how John played along with her drugging. Yeah, he could have stopped that, but can't ask too much from him, you know? Unfortunately. Let me see. What else? So what do you think about, I'm trying to think of a question to ask y'all. Because the last part of the book was crazy. I did not think it was actually Zuhari that killed Uka. I don't know why. But Zuhari didn't really come into my head. I assumed like, oh, it was her actual mother that killed Uka, but nah, the person that actually physically killed her was Zuhari, and I was surprised. I even said I clearly was wrong. I thought it was her mother that killed her. But they all played a role, right? They're still trying to destroy the world pretty much. So and have this war that they want so badly. Mm-mm-mm. But then when we realize and we have the explanation of why Zuhari did what Zuhari did, it made sense. It made absolute sense why she killed Uka. Hey, John was foul for not telling Sila about the rest of Luke's disciples. Yeah, he did that the last minute, and I was so pissed. And then once he announced who the rest of the disciples were, I'm like, oh, Adore, girl, those are the people that said they're going to help you with this legislation of keeping people safe in their home safe. Girl, they are not loyal to you. Don't be talking to them about your plans. That's what was going on in my head. And I'm like, man, I wish somebody could communicate with Honor and give her a heads up. Okay, I'm out. All right. He knew she wasn't really drugging him. He could have told her that straight out. Yeah, true. Gorn is a good one because I'd have killed her myself for betraying my daughter. Right. And I just couldn't stand how Honor was accused Gorn of killing Uka. In my head, it was just I don't know. Even Hassa said, like, you are blaming people who are loyal to you. Why are you doing this? But I don't know. Hassa and Kwame was nice to have in this book, especially when she was teaching him the sign and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that a lot. And it's just sad how he ended up dying in the end. Like even at the end, I was like, I feel so bad for Hassa. Hassa, I hope you get your vengeance. That's what I wrote in the book, and when I highlighted what happened to Kwame. It's so sad, especially when it says the accused chin dropped low onto his chest, his shoulders slumped in defeat, the rack slowly ripping him apart, notch by notch. Blood roared in Hassa's ears as her eyes locked with his. Kwame. And I just felt bad. But Yona, I didn't see that coming. Especially, I was like, Yona and Nayli, they can't be the same people. So, but apparently they are. But I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Because she's easily led. Yeah, true. She is easily led. And then the thing is, they were lying, saying like, no, we did this just to help them get rid of this sickness or whatever. And I'm thinking, so you are killing people. You ain't trying to heal no sickness. They don't got no sickness. You killing them, getting their bone marrow. And it made me think of sometimes in the U.S. where people are scared to go to the doctor because there be some people that be giving people stuff when they don't need it. I think finding out who killed her mother just increased her mistrust of people. A sheltered life and trust issues makes the best villains. Yeah, I just wonder what is she going to do next? Like what happens next is because it just ended like that. Like, ugh, like I don't get it. I don't get it. So I'm just like I'm ready. I'm here to see because the epilogue was about Hassa. Um, but Nayli, she took like Anor didn't hesitate, didn't acknowledge the title Nayli had given her. It made Nayli all the more sure of its place on her lips. I want to destroy them. I want to pull the keep to the ground. I want each and every one of them to die. Nayli smiled. It is time to go to war. So okay, so what is so I don't know. I'm thinking in my head, even though it's not possible, because I know the author has something up her sleeve, and I'm really want to know what happens next. I just got to know. I got to know. And of course, Scylla came back. I'm like, Scylla, you a real one. You travel all that way, and now you're going back to save Anor and everybody. Like, you is definitely the real one, for real. When Kwame died, I cried, but I'm glad Anor was mad. Like, finally get mad, make change, suck it up. Yeah, but I want to know now that she know her grandmother is Nayli and her grandmother is trying to kill everybody. Like, I wonder what her next steps are. So I'm hoping that she established who she should trust and who she shouldn't, and what path she needs to take at this point. But who knows? Who knows? I'm curious. I'm really curious, but I love this book. I'm glad that we read it because it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Oh. Sorry, I saw my note of when it says Anor seems so naive right now. Pharaoh, Qua, and Tanu are playing her, which they were. She was being played the entire time, and I'm like, girl, come on. Silas stays being the real one. Yes, and I want to see what happens. She came all the way back. I want to see what she does with the knowledge that she has and what the rest of the people that she met and stuff with the academy and all that, what they plan on doing. Because it just talks about this huge war and stuff. So like I said, I'm really curious to see what happens next. But like I said, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. And I really enjoyed this book. This will definitely be a book that I'm going to be rereading before the third book comes out, which I don't think it's been established yet, which is a little too soon to even think about it. But of like when the next book will be releasing, because I'm on Goodreads right now. Let me see. Because I don't think they have it updated yet. The only thing that's updated by the author is that her next book is going to be called Feybound, and this book is supposedly going to be coming out February 1st of 2024. So I thought this was interesting. And for this book, it says 2 elven sisters become imprisoned in the hidden world of the Fae, where danger and love lies in wait. Feybound is the first book in an enchanting new trilogy from the internationally best-selling author of The Final Strife. 1,000 years ago, the world held 3 Fae, elves and humans, but now the Fae and humans exist only in myth and legend, survived by the elves who are trapped in an endless war over the remaining lands. Yrinn is a colonial in the Elven army and has known nothing but a life of violence and hardship. Her sister Lettel is a diviner whose magic promises a different future for her and her sisters, but the prophecies have yet come to pass. When a fatal mistake leads to Yrinn's exile from the Elven lands, Lettel, fearful for her sister's life, follows her into the uncharted territory beyond their borders. In the wilderness, the sisters encounter the largest obeah they have ever seen. Part leopard, part stag, the Ebia's magic is harnessed to make weapons for the Elven War. It is during this hunt that they are confronted with a group of Fae who take them captive. Imprisoned in a new land, they must navigate the politics of the Fae court, all fighting a different kind of between their loyalty to their elven homeland and the intoxicating world of the Fae, between what duty decrees is right and what their hearts tell them they need. So it's an entirely new trilogy. So I have a feeling that once she finishes the third book, that's probably going to be it for this world. And she's going to be moving into a whole new series, which is Faebound, which I'm so sad. I wish you could find ways to intertwine this world into that world, but it's obviously definitely completely different about Fae and elves and all that. So, but yeah. Let's see. Do you think John kept Luke's true identity from Scylla because she was hooked on drugs? Huh. I don't think so. Oh, I hope they didn't make her write these two books at the same time. Yeah, that would be crazy. No, I think he's dumb. I need to pre-order this Fae book. Any goodies? No, not yet. I don't think she officially announced anything about her book yet. Anyways, it's just where I was able to find it on Goodreads and at work. So Faebound is definitely going to be something. I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious to see what she does with this new trilogy that she's going to be doing when she ends it with this series with the third book, which I hope that the book is it's yellow. That would be really cool, and it would make sense if it was yellow. I think part of it was because she was on drugs. Yeah, he can't help it. He is a male in his early 20s. I feel like he wants Scylla for the sake of wanting her, but truly had loyalties to Lute. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know. What if Anor, hypothetically, what if Anor ends up dying and then Scylla and Jon got together? Do you think that's realistic? Honestly, I feel like Jon wouldn't want Scylla, is going to eventually not want Scylla. Well, no, he said that he will still be there for her. Pretty much saying if she chooses him. So if something happened to Anor, I don't even know if Scylla would be with Jon, but it's a possibility. But then again, they were all brainwashed, and I don't know what that is like. Yeah. I'm gonna buy everything she writes. Yes, I am. It's just amazing. I wish we could. I would love to meet her in person. I don't think she probably has a tour in the U.S., but it's only the big cities that she's gone to. I think. Man, I would love to see her in person and take a picture with her. I agree with that, but I also think they were all testing her in a way, and she failed because she became an addict. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens next. But is there anything else y'all want to mention? I know Bree's going to be having our sprint soon, so I definitely want to wrap this up. But I know I was jumping everywhere, but it was hard because so much had happened, and I'm like, we got to talk about this, we got to talk about this, and so I do apologize for jumping everywhere. But I enjoyed this journey with each character. I'm glad that we were introduced to Nayli and then found out more about her background and how she became the person she is, in the current time in this book. That way it makes sense to us. I'm glad the author had implemented that. That way we wouldn't all be confused. But there was some instances where, I feel like if you weren't paying attention, you could tell how, when we got to Nayli's parts, how you could tell it was written way before Anor and Scylla. But I feel like maybe others might have a problem with that because it doesn't say past or whatever, and so people may think it's the present. So some may be confused. I know we weren't. We definitely got on. We realized Nayla, whenever Nayli was brought up, it was speaking from in the past. It's not the present. Let's see. I think she always had that feeling that things were not right with him, and therefore none of them ever truly trusted her. Yeah. John was putting whipped by Scylla, and he was putting whipped by Anor. They should enter into a poly situation and save the world. Oh, that would be cute. None of them did anything to help her through her addiction. Honor did that. None of these people are nourishing. That's why it was so striking when John did everything possible this time around to take care of her. Yeah, maybe like I said, he realized his wrong, so he's trying to make it right. But even Honor said like she'll never forget it. I feel like any normal person couldn't forget it. You were trying to kill me, nigga. Like, like dang, like I don't know, I don't know, but maybe he realized what he's done. So now, like I said, he's trying to make it up to her. Maybe he's also trying to find himself. I feel like he was lost in some ways, and he just he got lost, and he lost his his loyalty. He was just So I don't know. I would still be hesitant with him just because of the past things that he's done. So I would still keep an eye on him though. Luna's dead. This may be why he is holding on to Silas so tightly. Probably. That makes sense. I think she wasn't ever really trusted because she has an impulsive streak. I remember Luke turned her way after she was making the dumbest decision so she could get more drugs. Yeah. Or could not get. Yeah. True. Very true. But is there anything else that we may have missed? I feel like we covered a lot with just what we remember and all these a lot of twists and turns and reveals that took place and a lot of sadness with Hassa and Kwame. But yeah, let me see. Well, the drug is readily available in their backyard. I don't know how she is going to survive it this time around. True. But maybe she'll realize the bigger picture. She's eventually going to realize, nah, I can't do this. I need to stay alert because a war is about to come. Who knows? Who knows? But then she's doing all this because I feel like she's hurt. She's broken, And what if they did, one of the charters or whatever, they end up, the healing thing, maybe if they healed her mentally and stuff. Who knows? I don't know if that's the thing. I'm just talking, just hypotheticals. It's probably not really a thing, but who knows? She needs some type of healing. And once she's healed, I doubt she'll go back to it. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows what her mindset will be since she is back and now she's seeing Hassa again after traveling and all this stuff and meeting these new people that she hasn't met and going to an entirely new place that she had no knowledge of. Yeah, Miss good point. Very good point, but her impulsiveness is a result of her guilt. Yeah, we'll see. I have hope in Sila, but I think Sila would do anything for Honor, and I just had to say, but I feel like what if Sila's the one that ends up dying in the end? I'm gonna be so upset if she's the one that ends up dying in the end. I'm like, no, please no. Also wanted to come back and tell her John also wanted to come back and tell her he was alive, but he wasn't allowed to. And when he was allowed, he couldn't tell her because Sandstorm was testing her. Oh, yeah. Good point. Good point. Oops, sorry. But I think that is it. I think we did pretty good. Oh, and I did this. I said, I like this quote. It says, sometimes believing in something else is all you have, especially if you don't believe in yourself. I thought that was a nice little quote. I'm like, oh, I got to remember that quote. It's definitely something I got to remember. And that's on page 149, just in case somebody wanted to know. But yeah, she wasn't trusted, but was still seen as the one. Yeah. True. Honestly, don't hate John. I just think he's dumb. Yeah, he was dumb and naive. I think he's just trying to find his way now and trying to make good decisions this time. That is what I think now. Now, Nor, yeah, maybe she's just going to be the person that Sila ends up rescuing because the Nor can't do nothing. But Gorn may come into the picture. Maybe. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's so many ways the story can go in the third book. So it's like, I'm not even going to try to guess. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Losing Honor to her grandmother might really break her for good. Yeah, that's definitely true. It would break her. Who knows? We know that Sila has always been impulsive, even before her family died. They were able to steer her in better directions. Yeah. Hopefully, she's not impulsive. Well, she's impulsive, like we said. So maybe she'll be more wise. She'll think strategically on what her next move is going to be. I hope. Are you recording quotes in your little Inklings agenda? Yeah, I just been keeping quotes from books that or when I read a book and I find a favorite quote, and I'll just put it in my little notepad or whatever just to remind myself. But yeah. I just have these little quotes, and I really like that quote in the whole book. Because I'm like, oh, I like this quote. Shoot. I mean, I like this book so much. That might even be a tat, probably. Who knows? Like, I really enjoyed that quote. But I think that is it. I know Bree's going to be starting her sprints real soon. So, don't want to stay on here too long because I know people want to get to reading. But, yeah. Let's see. You have a point. Yeah. Yeah, you do have a point. I don't know. I have all hope. I have faith in Sila, and I hope Honor will eventually learn her lesson and realize the people that were loyal to her are the ones that she needs to keep close to her, and not betray them. I'm so happy I got the Goldsboro editions. Yes, me too. I'm definitely gonna, when they announce that there's gonna be a special edition for the third book, I gotta have it. Like, I got to. I'll be really disappointed if I don't. I'll have to reread the whole series because I can't remember all the little details in book one. Now this book, just wow. Right. Wow. It's definitely one of my top reads this year. It's definitely going to be on my list at the end of the year, like the best books I've read in 2023 by Black authors, and she's definitely on that list. So I'm excited. But I think that is it. Bree is about to start her sprints real soon. This was just a fun time. I came this close to not getting my Goldsboro. My copy was one of the final ones. It was like 947 or something. Well, you got it, and I'm happy you got it because I was getting pissed for you. I'm like, wait, what? You ordered it? Like, I don't know why they're having like not communicating well with you. Like that was annoying, but I'm glad that you got it. But thank you all for coming. This was really fun. I'm excited for our next live discussion, which for July, this is the book pick is Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton. I'm probably going to start reading this today actually because the synopsis was just awesome and there's murder and there's blood, so I'm all here for it. But I'm going to end this live discussion. Once again, thank you all for coming. I will catch y'all in Bree's sprints. I hope everyone's had a great day so far and that y'all have a great evening or morning or wherever you may be. Says, thank you. You're welcome. I think they randomly picked numbers because my final stripe is under 500. I just got it. Yeah, my number, I forget what my number is. I have to double check, but yeah. I did not finish yet. Working on it. I have you on mute so that don't hear spoilers. Reading chapter 45. Okay, gotcha. No worries. Thanks, Jessica. Oh, thanks, Jessica. You're welcome. You're welcome. I will catch y'all in Bree's sprints. Have a good evening, everyone. I'll catch y'all later.